Maybe you remember this venue. I'm going to call this the West Porch. And since it's been not exactly raining, but very wet, I haven't been going up on the roof that I'm working on so much. So this was something I turned my attention to. I've leveled up the beams, well, the beams and the joists and the pallets. I leveled them up with a lot of shims. Instead of doing it from the ground, which is basically on old foundations, I did my leveling with a lot of blocks. And I have a high spot right there in the middle. I know I do. That's okay because it's sloping from there to the right slightly and from there to the left slightly. And in every case, well, right there it's almost level against the wall, but in every other case it's sloping away from the wall. And I still have a couple more chances to get it level enough for me. I call this the subfloor, these pallets that I've simply set on these short joists. I call that the subfloor. And I'm going to lay some boards that I have on there as a subfloor for now. I don't know if I'll do any nail. I haven't done any nailing yet. Well, we'll see how it goes. I'll play with this for about an hour. You see what I'm doing? I'm just taking these boards. These are old boards that hard to imagine how they could be used for anything. I'm not squaring them. I'm not sawing them. I'm just laying them on there on approximately 45, the short ones. And when I come to longer ones, I'm using them for the edges here. I'll probably do the same along the back. And it's going to give me a chance to use up a lot of that lumber. I'll show you the kind of material I'm working with here. There, that took about a half hour. No measuring, no sawing, no nailing. I ran out. I used up that whole pile of old boards. I ran out before I got here to the end. It's just as well. I mean, eventually I can't go that fast. I've got to do some filling in. But while I'm down here, let me show you what I'm going to do for the next floor. I don't know if I'm going to call it the finished floor because I may do still one more over it. I really do have lots of scrap wood that's much better. I mean, this was true junk. There's the youngest litter of piglets that I've got, and that's where I was. This is the next layer of flooring, which may be the finished floor. I think it probably won't be. When I took what was here apart, I laid it there. I hadn't done any nailing at all, and so it was just a matter of unstacking it. So I think I'll lay some of that up there. Eventually I'm going to be much more careful than just kind of laying stuff on there. There, as you can see, I'm laying it on a 90 to the other. So I've got 3 directions of wood going, one this way, one that way, one that way. And if I do a finished floor over this, I'll run them vertically because that way the water will shed better, I think. I don't know. This goes so easy that I think I may just lay at least a lot of that up here. I just don't want to get too far ahead because I do want to start to adjust things and make them right. I always like to have some assistance along with me. Well, here's Mama. She'll start the business of cleaning it up where I've moved the lumber. I'm not going to keep doing this. I could, but it'll give the idea that, well, maybe I should because the goats are going to get up on that almost for certain. I'm going to give it a little bit of a pause. This wood is so unpleasantly wet to be working with, and also the ends, I've got to deal with them differently, but there you can sort of see what I'm doing. Let me get a little higher on my manure pile. You see, I started to stagger the joints this way and that. I'll fill them in. I'll actually do some sawing, I think. to fill those gaps in. Enough for now. Maybe one more shot. I got a little higher on the manure pile, and you can see a little bit better what I'm doing.